Good evening, friends. We are ready for some D&D. It's Monday night, and that can mean only one thing, which I've forgotten. So, welcome. Mysteries in the Dalelands time. I am Wiley Hobbit. I'll be your dungeon master and your host. Yes, let's go around and meet our players, and then we'll kind of catch you up on where things are. As is customary, we will be polite and chivalrous and go ladies first. We'll start this evening with Ronvin.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's you. Go ahead.
Ah, no, I froze for a second and I'm like,
You're
no.
good. You're good.
It's like I couldn't click and I'm like, no, no, no. All right. So, hi, I'm Vivi Vivesha. I am playing Bronwyn, who's a baby Azamar artificer. She made her own power armor. She transformed for the first time. She has no clue how, why, or what's going on, but she's starting to look into something that she remembers from some kind of dream. And else, she is super happy just to be somewhere she's never been before. And right now, she's still PO'd because she is sure that Elle, made sure that there was cream in her tea, even though he knows she doesn't like cream in her tea.
Well, all right. Good, good. Very nice. Ronvin, good.
Yeah.
Calavera.
I okay, my audio is going okay. For a second, I thought I didn't fully unmute. I'm Paige. I am playing Calavera. She is a Fire Genasi Grave Cleric, who this is a big journey for her that she's just kind of ended up on. Um, and a lot of what she has been doing along the way is going through a lot of experiences, getting to know people, and I guess one of the big things that she's been dealing with is the presence of all the undead we keep coming upon and trying to figure out some of her views and reactions and all of that.
No
Ooh,
angst at all. None.
interesting.
Totally angst free, right?
No, no, why would I be why would I have any connection to any of this, says the person playing the grave domain cleric with, a background that's
I'm at a loss. Totally. And then our other last and final female character, Fragile.
Yeah, I'm Mike, and I am playing for Julie, the Hexblade Warlock and favorite daughter of the Raven Queen. And we are presently in the library with Al, and I am sitting back and actually kind of just going to have a really good time seeing how this plays out tonight. And she's ready to get on with her adventure to finish the mission that the Raven Queen has laid upon her.
Nice. I like that, how you see that favored daughter of the Raven Queen. I mean, I think it's nice that you think that that's a thing. So, yeah.
Mm.
Nice.
Well,
Your optimism
DMs
is
aren't all knowing.
your optimism is charming. I'm just teasing. Okay, very good. Thank you, Fragile. Hey, Gears, what's up, my man?
You dude.
Hey, I'm Dave. I'm playing Gears, the Warforged Battlemaster fighter. They're kind of wondering what the heck we're doing in a new place. Didn't know we were moving, and but there's some opportunity to stomp some more undead gnomes, so we're hoping on that. And be real here. Gears thinks that that dagger that we're carrying around that is currently not near Gears, but somewhere else, probably needs to get buried somewhere. Forget about giving it to a tiger guy. I don't know. But, you know, it's one of those things. So we're just going to move on and see how the rest of the day plays out.
All right, good. Algernon.
Hi, everybody. I'm Manny at Growed Up Geek on the social media. And tonight I am playing Algernon Altano, who was left in the middle of the last episode in a very wonder years. This is my flashback to me becoming a man kind of a thing. And it's awkward. And we're going to start with me being awkward. So good times.
Nice. I live for awkward player moments. All right, and last
Here it
but
comes, buddy.
certainly not least, Rue.
Evening, everyone. I'm Andrew playing Rushahar, your friendly neighborhood party rogue.
Party rogue. I like that.
With an awesome top hat.
With an awesome top hat. Yeah. A little
Dressed
foreshadowing.
up to go to the bar.
Yeah. And while I'm thinking of it,
Yes.
we do have a thing coming up this Saturday, so I want to make an announcement about that. I'll even drop some information into the.
This Saturday?
It is this Saturday, yeah. On Saturday, February 6th, this year channel is going to be running a full day of Dungeons and Dragons to raise funds for Jasper's Game Day, which is a nonprofit organization that calls attention to and helps to work to prevent suicide and obviously other associated mental health issues. So we've already raised $630. So our goal is now bumped from 500 to 1,000. And our friend Andrew here, is going to be DMing 3 sessions. I think for Geely, Al,
Top hat, definitely.
and he's going to have his top
Because
hat
there's a whole
and
lot more.
his tuxedo on. Yep. So
Tux.
few of the cast here are going to be playing as well, including myself. So if you're not doing anything on Saturday, we go live at noon, and we'll be playing D&D until midnight. We'll take a few breaks in there, but should be an awesome day, and I'm hoping that we can do a lot of good to support Jasper's Game Day. So if you can, please consider tuning into that.
Yeah, I think one of our players is also going to be showing up in cosplay for that game.
Yeah, one of
Not on
the
this
celebrities,
stream, but,
Camille, is going to come in
Oh,
full cosplay for that during the 4 p.m. session. So should be pretty cool. Going to be a good day. Very excited for it. So come join us. All right. So
I'm
with
trying
that,
to get Wiley to commit to a cosplay.
yeah, I mean, I've just never been much of a cosplay hobbit. So I don't even have the
You just don't
materials.
have plate armor.
Yeah, I just don't have the materials for proper cosplay. So last week we were rudely interrupted by the cessation of my internet. The party was split at the time. Calavera, Gears, and Rue find themselves making conversation with Balon, the beardless, the dwarf, the bald dwarf, who's kind of, I think, the official elder of Deep Delvers Enclave, while Ronvin, Al, and Fragili are entertained by Odra in the library that is there at Deep Delvers Enclave, and they had been asking Odra a number of questions, trying to learn what they can about this dagger that they have with them, learning what they can about Ion of Vair, the person they were directed to meet, and about the dagger. And then also, when we were so rudely interrupted by the cessation of interwebs, they were talking a little bit about Violet Falls. And the reason they were doing so is last episode, a small horde of zombie gnomes issued forth from a sinkhole that appeared in the center of Deep Delvers Enclave, and battle ensued. And the party helped the residents of the Enclave dispatch this horde of zombie gnomes. And it was determined that they perhaps may have come from this lost gnomish village called Violet Falls. And the village was lost when the Grendel root suddenly protruded up through Black Claw Mountain, caving in chambers and tunnels and creating new ones, and closing great crevasses and creating rifts and sending this hard, shiny black, these they look almost like claws, spires throughout Black Claw Mountain. And as the result of the Grendel root coming, the village of Violet Falls, this gnome mining village, was lost. Any way to get there was lost. The refugees who were out of the village at the time, who escaped, described the carnage and the death and the catastrophic effects of this Grendel root. And that's kind of what is known at this point. And so I want to flash back. We're going to return to the library now with Odra, Fragili, and Ronvin. Ronvin is upstairs poring over various tomes, learning about all things artificing. learning what she can about Violet Falls. I'll put the image of Odra back up on screen here as long as Algernon behaves himself. And we will open our scene in the library, enjoying an herbal. It's sort of an Earl Grey meets wild berry tea, very calming, pleasant tea that the group is enjoying. So Odra leans in. So you wish to know about Violet Falls, you mentioned, based on... And she holds up one of the pins that Fragile brought from the corpses. Each of the zombies was wearing a pin with the insignia, the old ancient insignia of Violet Falls. So what is it you wish to know? Or what do you know?
We do not know much. What we wish to know is, if anything, this has to do with our journey here, as well as to possibly prevent anything from having happen to this settlement again.
Yes, so you say these zombie gnomes just came from a sinkhole. Is that... It's like it just collapsed and out they came?
We did not see it open. We were in a local establishment, but if you'd like to step outside, it is out in the street. It is giant.
Oh, yes. So she stands and undeadbolts the door, steps out, and oh my. And you can see they've already started to set kind of barricades around. They're trying to, move the corpses of the zombie gnomes and generally just try to restore some order. And she kind of steps back in and rebolts the door. Thank you for the sub, Dave. That will add another +2 to a d20 roll. You are now at 19 of those. You have 19 +2s to add to d20 rolls. So yes, I see. That's a significant, and it looks like a number of these zombies. A bunch of them. It's awful. And you say they all have these pins on.
Yes, the ones that we searched all seem to have them. Fragile just went out and grabbed one off of any dead body that she found.
I see. Oh, goodness. Turns the pin over. Well, Violet Falls. Violet Falls has been lost since the coming of the Grindelroot. There were some survivor gnomes who escaped, and they told of the carnage and loss of life, the collapse of all the tunnels leading into Violet Falls, and no one's been able to go there ever since, or even find it. It's been lost to time.
Well, how'd the refugees make it here?
Well, they escaped. When the Grindelroot came, they were outside of the village. And they left Blackclaw Mountain and told their tale. They, you see, at that time...
Well, what was the...
Go ahead.
No, what was this city like before the coming of the Grindelroot? Was it a great metropolis? Was it
No.
small settlement?
It was a small settlement of rock gnomes, great artificers and alchemists and tinkerers and the like. And they mined these beautiful violet crystals that they would trade with the outside of the mountain, local cities and settlements. They traded with the Crusade of the White Sun and other settlements within the mountain. They sort of kept to themselves. You could only go there by invitation. They would take you. Let me see. Yes, there was a lift contraption. Rock gnomes and their tinkering, but there's some sort of a lift that you would go into it and descend down into Violet Falls, and that was the only known way. But the lift itself was hidden.
there appear to be tunnels out of the hole that collapsed outside that we believe will lead to somewhere. Perhaps these ruins of Violet Falls, perhaps uh, wherever these things came from to make it look like it was from Violet Falls.
Well, there are tunnels all throughout Black Claw Mountain. Some dating back hundreds and thousands of years. Some were destroyed when the Grendel root came. Some are new from the coming of the Grendel root.
Well, would you have any way to help us ensure that whatever
Tunnels
path we
all
take
throughout
leads
Black
us
Claw
to
Mountain.
Violet Falls and that we are not walking in a circle underneath the mountain for a couple years?
Oh yes, I could see where that would be troubling. We do have, gosh, they're ancient maps, but they, Balon himself has explored and used the maps to try to find Violet Falls to no avail. My best suggestion might be to follow the tunnels that lead up through the sinkhole. Surely the zombies must have come from somewhere, whether it's Violet Falls or elsewhere, but that would be my best suggestion.
Yes, if there's nothing more that you can help us with, I believe if our associates are ready to go, and he kind of peers up, looking to see if Rondon overhears him, kind of wrapping up. We should be on our way, perhaps. We must meet up with the rest of our group and come up with a plan.
Yes, of course. Some interesting things about Violet Falls. Those gnomes were much more inventive and creative than your average rock gnome. They created some wondrous things. So if you do find yourselves in Violet Falls or amongst the ruins or whatever happens, I would be most interested to learn anything you could tell me about your adventure there. And if there are any items you might
Of course.
bring back. I know that Ayana Veyer would probably pay handsomely for some curiosity or clockwork or mechanism, as would Jace Goldsmile. That is common practice here. Exploration, adventuring, relics, arcane wonders, treasure.
Yes, of course. And if if we do head out before we see each other again, and you happen to run into Ion, uh, let him know that people have been sent for him and will be looking to find him.
Oh, of course, I will be happy to do so. Shall I say, could I give a name? Or some other, perhaps a description?
The Iron, the Iron Phoenix. Yeah, yeah. Um, tell tell him that the Iron Phoenix is searching for a meeting.
Well, if I see
I
him,
like this.
I will deliver your message. Happily. Happily, so. Yes. One other thing about this
Important people know important people.
Violet Falls business. The gnomes. They. You should be careful down there. That, for all of their tinkering and creating and smithing and mining, it was rumored that they had some forge of limitless heat. And I don't know what might have become of that if everything collapsed or. So I just think you should take care. Be careful.
Duly noted.
And again, all you could learn would be most interesting to me. My interest, my passion lies in knowledge, not in treasure, unless, of course, you find yourself with some arcane items.
Of course. Thank you for your time.
Please do come again.
Ronvin, it is time to go.
All right. So what I find out now that I have to leave.
There are some records, some mention of the old gnome settlement of Violet Falls. There were some passages that were taken down, supposed interviews with the refugee, the gnomes that survived, that were inhabitants of Violet Falls, and it basically corroborates everything that she described. You know, they had this incredible heat source, this almost limitless source of heat for their forge, and they created these mechanical and alchemical wonders that they would sell or trade. They one thing that seemed kind of interesting was this clock that they built, a huge magical clock that supposedly records from the beginning of time to the end of time and all the time in between. To your artificer sensibilities, this sounds like a hell of a cool place.
So she probably come trumping down the stairs, all excited. This is gonna be so cool. And Al, I won't forget that. I know somehow you were the one who made sure that it was cream in my tea. You ready to go?
My deepest, yes, I am. Al's gonna hang back and let Fragile and Ronvin go so he can have a quick moment with Odra to speed.
Okay.
If that's possible.
That is entirely possible, if that's what you'd like.
Is this a ooh moment?
No, I'm actually going to do something I think relatively smart here for a change.
For a change, yeah.
Everybody calm down. We haven't gone there yet. There's still time for this thing to come off the rails.
The party is separated, of course. So, you just
don't think with your clout.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I assume Fragile and Ronvin maybe step out. Al hangs back. Yes. Is there something else? Perhaps a question you've thought of?
Virgilia's going to stand right outside the door, just so you know.
I cannot help but notice all of this power, this knowledge, these books. I was wondering if I may ask a favor of you.
Oh, you may ask, of course.
I have come into a spell book, possession of a spell book that I would like returned to its owner or their family. Unfortunately, due to circumstances, I am in not position to return it myself. I still need the spellbook this evening, but if I may drop it by this in the morning so that you can see it return to the proper owners.
Do I know them? Are they here in the Enclave?
No, it would be where I am from, but by what I gather, getting it to its rightful owner should not be too much of a trouble for someone such as yourself.
Oh, she smiles. Well, I will certainly be happy to take a look at it and discuss it further when you return from your little adventure.
All right, very well. Thank you very much. And Al's going to give her like a real courteous bow and maybe like a little wink on his way out the door.
She smiles. And good to meet you all. Good luck on your trip.
It was a pleasure. Yay, wizard dating sim over.
So she closes the door to the library, and you hear the deadbolts click. It's supper time, give or take, and I presume you'll make your way over to the Lucky Loot where the remainder of the party is situated?
Yes.
Okay. So, speaking of the remainder of the party, let's cut scene to Gears, Calavera, Rue, and Balon the Beardless, sitting around a table in a booth, watching the lucky loot begin to fill with patrons hoisting tankards of ale and glasses of wine, and just the usual sort of, not as raucous as the celebration was the previous evening when you arrived in town, but it's probably 3/4 full. Cloud and Bert are scrambling to serve with their staff.
Yeah, I imagine we've just been kind of chatting, and at some point, Rue will say to Balon, "So, is there like a local government here? How does makes the decisions around here?"
Oh, yeah, great, good question. Well, of course, there's myself. There's Ruth Willowmane. She used to be a sheriff of a village, White Sparrow, several days' ride from the mountain. So she has background in law and order, if you will. We have sort of I wouldn't call it a council, that seems rather formal, but there are several business owners and more experienced adventurers who meet occasionally to discuss any business, but we mostly just look out for ourselves, and everyone trusts one another here, and we don't judge people for who they are, and so we don't really have much need for regulatory things and rules and the like. There is the Chipped Axe. Argora runs a mercenary company, for lack of a better term. In fact, the young elf that you brought back from Shadow Reach is one of hers, Galeth, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. They look to me as kind of the elder, but believe me, it's no official capacity. No one has granted me any say or rights above another. But I'm probably, and he kind of looks at his staff for a moment. I've been here one of the longest. I was one of the first here.
I've heard mention of this Argora before. Is she a business owner as well, besides heading up this Chipped Axe gang?
Oh no, it's paid protection all the way for her. Yep. She has, probably 20 or so guards, mercenary, and they're what serves as militia for the Enclave. Besides, all of us here are quite capable adventurers, quite capable, as you must have seen when the zombie gnomes
Certainly.
made their feeble attempt to overrun us.
So, if there were crimes committed around here, it would be the Chipped Axe gang that would deal with it?
They would probably apprehend if we needed muscle to deal with it. I myself, along with Ruth Willowmane, would probably do the investigation along with Odra if there were any need for that, and we would decide as a group what punishment would be fitting. But as adventurers go, we're an independent lot, and we trust one another. Even the Rakshasa is trusted. Yeah, it's a diverse community, and we've found that it pays to have one another's back, living on the edge of such dangerous, dark places as we do.
Seems like quite a good gig you've got going.
Think of it as a large cooperative community, if you will. All are welcome. I mean, surely you noticed as we were meeting earlier, a drow elf walked right in to our midst, friendly enough, as cold and sullen as our Dulvin can be, but he's a good chap. He can be trusted. There are not many places where you'll see that. I mean, we have a Rakshasa in our midst with no trouble. It works for us.
Are there many other settlements in the area besides the Enclave here?
The next closest settlement of any interest is White Sparrow, and again, that's several days' ride from the mountains. But there are, goodness knows, what sort of other, I guess, enclaves or settlements or villages of various demi-humans and monsters within Blackclaw itself. There's dwarves. There are other gnomes, not the Violet Falls gnomes, of course. Yeah, it's we're just out here in the wild.
And what of Toro? Is there travel to and from Toro from here at all?
I until you arrived, I must say you have me at a bit of a loss. I'm not familiar with Toril. Is that what you call it, Toril? Toril. Until you've explained it to me. I mean, I've heard from Odra, and he kind of rolls his eyes, that there are other worlds or the like, but my business is with my blade and with the old man here, and he kind of looks over at the carven visage of the grizzly dwarf on the end of his staff.
Interesting. We had heard of one other person who traveled here from Toro probably some time ago, but I wondered whether that was a commonplace sort of a thing.
Oh, no, not again. Many times when people come here, we're not necessarily sure where they're from. We get people come in wanting things, looking for this, looking for that. We don't always ask. Who was it you say that was here from this tour?
I don't recall the name. It was somebody as we were trying to learn about Mistara and everything.
Oh.
Some mention of somebody who traveled here once before.
Well, if you think about it, be curious.
Yeah, if it comes to me. Has the adventuring party that returned, that was being so celebrated the night before, have they come into the bar yet?
No, they are probably sleeping off their celebration. They were at it pretty late, or well, early this morning. Haven't seen them.
Happy to be back among friendly folks again.
Yes, the dark tunnels of this mountain are harrowing, dangerous. It does feel good to get back home when one spends enough time out there in the tunnels, the caves.
Well, I mean, I would certainly love to try to arrange some sort of regular travel back and forth between here and Dagger Falls, and set up some trade. I think that it would be conducive. It would be helpful to both us and you.
I think it could be.
Travel to a place where you'd be able to travel to a place where you're not quite so in the wild, and of course Dagger Falls has many things to offer. Dagger Falls in turn would have access to your wonderful hospitality, as well as the many fine treasures of Mistara.
I can't say as I disagree, and perhaps there would even be adventurers here who might like to venture forth to your Dagger Falls and see what is there. I think it would be good for us both. I would certainly be happy to perhaps convene a meeting of the right folks when you return from wherever your investigation takes you.
Indeed. Well,
Probably.
go ahead.
I was gonna say we'd have to figure out a way to open some sort of pathway between that can be reliably used.
Yes, that would be beyond my skill for sure. But Odra,
Perhaps Perhaps that was his name, Rantides, right? The person who's been here before? Was it
Yes, I
Rantides?
think it was.
He sits forward. Oh, the sage. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Round That's his. I remember him. Yes, he was here briefly some time ago. Many years. But I remember him. You remember certain faces, certain people. He spent a good deal of time with Odra. And in fact, I believe he spent a good deal of time with Ian Fair.
What was your impression of him?
Seemed to know a lot of things, seemed to think quite highly of himself. I don't have much use for that sort of thing, and frankly, I didn't spend much time with him, but seemed like a decent enough fellow. But, we never really heard much about where he was from. I've made it my business not to inquire too deeply into certain individuals. You get a feel, maybe things are best left undiscussed.
Well, perhaps if we can track him down when we get back to Decker Falls, then he can help us to establish some transportation.
I should think he could if he's gotten himself here before. I would think so. I think between he and Odra, some things might be worked out. Yes, I think we'll do that when you return. Excuse me. Successfully, hopefully, from your investigation of this nonsense with the zombie gnomes. Perhaps we can convene a meeting with some people here and discuss your proposal further.
Perfect. That sounds excellent.
Very well.
Has the mint wine, out of character, has the mint wine been a big hit among the customers?
Yes, it seems to be. Cloud has been pouring many a goblet from the half keg, quarter keg, whatever it is that you brought, the pony. And she's caught your eye a couple times and like points at the keg and give you, or they, I should say they, they're non-binary, have caught your eye and big smile on their face. This enclave, we pride ourselves on our acceptance and diversity and how well we get along here. But another tenet of our community is all about adventure and exploration. So we certainly welcome and challenge you to go out and explore while you're here. I don't know how long you wish to be here, but whenever your business concludes, I hope you'll stay a little while and learn a bit about the mountain and have a look around, and perhaps you'll find some things of interest to take back with you.
Yes, indeed.
And of course, we're always anxious to hear whatever you learn, whatever you see out there and experience out there. There's so much. The mountain is so vast, and so many areas have gone unexplored, especially since the Grendel route a couple hundred years ago. So I would encourage you to have a look about. Perhaps not on this trip, but another.
It certainly seems like a place where adventurers could earn a living and quite a comfortable lifestyle.
Yes, it's dark enough, but we have our light and so forth. It is weird not feeling the wind on your face, but every now and then I'm moved to go to the surface and visit White Sparrow and so forth. But we like it here. Yeah. The only people who come here usually come here with a purpose. This is such an out-of-the-way place. You don't find yourself, oh, where are we now? It's not that kind of place. So we don't have lots and lots of travel. We have some regular caravans in and out and things, but it's usually adventurers seeking their fortune, and most of them fare well. Not all of them return, but like I said, it's
such is the nature of adventure.
It's dangerous, but you all seem to be quite capable. He kind of looks over at Gears, looking up and down their armor, and I presume the glaive is probably with you. And he kind of he just has this sparkle in his eye just when he sees a warrior. You know, he's like, getting the band back together, mate. You know, kind of.
Gears, of course, hasn't twitched through all of
Right.
this. But yes, the glaive is there.
Yes, you all
I'll
seem
just hold up,
quite capable.
Yeah.
But
I'll hold up my tankard and say, well, here's to the beginning of a very prosperous and excellent relationship.
aha, very well. He holds up his tankard. You all slosh beer around and whatever everyone's drinking. I would say that would probably be ample time for the remainder of the party to find themselves entering the dim, lucky lute. You hear the lute music playing from the statuary up on the dais, as described last time. The halfling statue of the halfling playing the lute, and yet somehow the lute is playing. At least it would appear so. And you do spy your three party members in a quiet corner with Balon, enjoying what appears to be some ale. I don't know, Calavera, what are you having to drink?
I mean, if that wine is going around, she's having some more of the wine. Come on.
The mushroom wine. Yep. That's a thing.
Oh no, some of the mint wine,
Oh, okay.
please.
Yes. Yeah. You can certainly have that. Yeah. So, and again, as I mentioned, it's maybe 3/4 full of patrons. It's gotten to be, dinner hour ish, if there is such a thing. So some people are eating, some people are just sitting around talking and drinking. As soon as he spots Frigili, Algernon, and Ronvin, Balon jumps up. Ah, welcome. We're over here. Come sit. Just discussing terms and arrangements and things. And he seems quite pleased with himself. He gives Rue a nod and ushers you into the booth. What would you all have to drink? Tonight everything is on me. It's the least I can do for you, risking life and limb to investigate this strange turn of events with these zombie gnomes, I suppose.
Tea for me, please.
And you, Miss Ronvin? I see you have your little bird with you. It's an interesting thing.
Uh-oh, she froze.
Froze? No?
No, she's not frozen.
She's blinking.
What would you like to drink, Ronvin? Hey, Ronvin, can you hear us?
Pass. Come back to me.
Fragile, what would you like to drink?
Yeah. I would like a good, solid red wine, sweet, preferably.
Very well. He exits to get drinks up at the bar, leaving the party alone.
Yeah, Bronwyn is totally dreaming of all the artificer stuff that she's going to find and making up all of that stuff. And she's just like,
Whew, I was a little nervous there.
Yes.
I thought
all
we
were.
lost you. Like, I
Nope,
see
nope.
her eyes moving. Yes.
yeah, I was like,
She's RPing deep in thought. Very nice. Well done.
So, how did you all make out at the library?
Funny you should put it that way.
Interesting choice of words.
Not as well as I would like. We found out this Violent Falls is a lost civilization. To say that it hasn't been heard of. It is, aside from a lift that the wizard described, is basically inaccessible and lost. Ronvin learned quite a bit about what she does. Fragile was very entertained by my inability to speak. Just a time at the library.
Inability to speak.
What is happening? Are you feeling okay?
The
This block's malfunctioning.
the wizard she took me she took me by surprise.
How so?
She was,
She pretty smart.
and it is weird to not be able to read somebody. And I could not read her intentions or her motivations for anything.
Similar to how Randit is a wizard, I understand now.
I did not like it.
I bet you didn't.
Shifted to the front of your person.
Did you ask her about the dagger?
Because I did not trust her. I let her know that we were looking for Ion and to perhaps aid us in that. But I did not feel comfortable enough, and Fragile agreed that we should not be brandishing the dagger about town when it is just us and we are unfamiliar with everybody here.
What Balon has described, it would be unwise to leave this dagger here. This community seems founded on trust. Leaving a dagger of this nature would be disruptive if used.
Unless we are bringing it to the person we were told to bring it to and they can contain it, I suppose is the word for it. Because we don't know how to do that.
This is true.
Virgilia's going to excuse herself to the restroom.
All right.
Just letting you know. She's...
Well, sounds like it was a profitable discussion at least. Were you able to get any maps or anything that might aid us in our exploration?
She claimed that every bit of information was lost. That all of the maps, everything was hidden and or lost over time. She, like us, figured the best chance we have is possibly the tunnels, knowing that wherever they came from, they intentionally came here.
Seems like as good a place to start as any.
She also gave us an offer that we are very familiar with, that should we find anything, she would love to potentially see some of the items we find from the lost civilization. I would leave that up to the group. Just she did not seem entirely trustworthy.
Well, it would probably depend on the items and whether or not there's anyone else that would be able to use them better, I suppose.
Perhaps she seemed quite capable, and her capability is what worries me. I doubt she has an equal near Deep Delvers Enclave. That's where we are. Near this enclave. It is my opinion she's the most powerful wizard around.
I do not see why that would be a problem necessarily. I'm not understanding.
It is that should she not be trustworthy, I worry about there not being a potential to stop her.
Well, do we have a reason to not trust her other than the fact that you cannot get a beat on her? I think that is the right term, to get a beat on someone.
Yes. No, we do not have anything more than that. I will not claim to know anything. It is just a gut feeling.
Mm-hmm. That's the person who made sure I got milk in my tea. Not trustworthy.
No, Robin does not like milk in her tea.
So I have learned.
I've had breakfast with Robin. I think Calavera's learned this by now.
It ruins the tea. The tea is amazing. You don't put enough milk or cream in it. However, she was a little too pretty, a little too interested in the artifacts, and she gave us some yummy tea. But she gave us calming tea.
How is there a way to be too pretty?
You know,
She nailed it.
there's some that are pretty like you are. They're just pretty, and some that make sure they're pretty to be pretty, to have an advantage over other people by being pretty. You know what I mean?
No, I do not. But I.
The
Is
one
it
who
so-
makes sure that they're so pretty that men don't pay attention what they're doing because they're distracted by her being pretty.
Is this why you could not get a beat on her because she was too pretty?
And too smart.
And too
Oh.
smart. She I have not seen
Oh, and
a
powerful.
of her capability since I was back home in Chult. Since we have been together, have not seen anything like her before.
Well, then maybe you will just have to become powerful and smart and pretty yourself. So that weight is not a problem.
I worry we do not have that kind of time.
Well, I mean, I think as long as we keep our head on our shoulders, which sounds like Al you did, and not give too much trust to people who have not yet earned it, I think we'll be okay.
It is too powerful of an artifact we know too little about to just hand over to the first wizard that we meet. As much as I do not like it, we were pointed to the Rakasha. I believe that's who we should find.
Agreed.
So
Everyone is drinking in silence.
as you're all just kind of thinking through this, Balon returns with the ordered beverages: tea for Al, another glass of wine for Calavera, red sweet wine for Miss Fragile. Here we are. Your drinks. I must, if I may, take my leave. I assume as it's getting on, you'll be resting well this evening and setting out at the start of the day tomorrow. Does that sound about right?
That makes sense.
Any idea of a plan?
Sounds like we're gonna go try to follow this tunnel and see if there's any trail that we can track down where the zombies came from.
Oh, that sounds like as good a place as any to begin then. Very well. I will be up. Perhaps you could leave from the Dragon's Fangs first thing in the morning. I'll be out front with my coffee. I'd like to bid you farewell.
Sounds good to me.
Very well. And he bows, kind of leans on his staff and turns. And as he heads out, he kind of stops at a couple tables and has some conversation with some patrons that obviously he knows. And as he, if anybody's watching him, you'll see the door to the Lucky Loot open and a familiar figure walks in, that of Odra, the librarian. And he stops, and they have a conversation, and what appears to be a pretty good laugh. And then he looks in the direction of the party and kind of gestures in your direction and nods at you all again and steps out. And Odra makes her way very dexterously across the taproom floor. I was hoping I might find you here. I had such a good time in your company. I thought I might join you. And she looks at Al and says, perhaps you might buy a librarian a beverage. She smiles.
I'm gonna look at Calavera and like point to Odra just to be like, see, this is what I'm talking about.
Ooh.
Oh,
but-
she is very pretty. You're right.
Well, yes, it would be my pleasure to buy you a drink.
That would be lovely.
Tell the I just like rudely flag down the server just to try to get her drink real quickly.
I'll get it. It's fine. I'll get it. But perhaps you could introduce me to your lovely friends here. And she kind of surveys the table. Hi, Ronvin. Good to see you again.
You must be Odra, I assume.
I am. And
This
you?
is Rue, our merchant and resident diplomat of our expedition.
Oh.
At the end, the very large one is Gears. And here is our lovely devotee of the grave, Calavera.
It is a pleasure to meet you.
Devotee
I've
of
already heard a lot about you.
grave. Well, what do you think of those zombie gnomes?
It is unfortunate more than anything, I think, that the flesh came back wrong and that it is very confusing. It is, and like you can see Calavera's like, you can see she's trying to think of something to say. Instead, she just kind of ends up falling silent.
Yes, it is confusing and troubling all at once, and even sad that they don't rest. The undead, they were probably brought to that state unwillingly. So, while it is no fun to end life, but I think it is. You should feel good that you've ended undeath with your combat. Yes, it's disturbing. Well, at any rate, it is lovely to meet you.
Yes, of course.
And she looks at Gears. Your name is Gears. You seem
Muted.
You seem different to me, different than your friends.
Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Gears will flip back their hood.
And Odra will just study you very curiously, not judgmentally, not gawking, not shocked, just absolutely curious. And she looks at Ronvin. Is this your handiwork? They are magnificent.
Gears will thump their glaive once and say, "No, I am not from here."
Yes, so I've heard.
It's like there's only one shiny. That's my work.
Oh, I see. An enhancement, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes, but mostly he's just himself, amazing as he is.
I should say so. Yes.
Gears is also very tense right now.
Okay.
They are examining her closely for intention, and the glaive is maybe dangerously at a point of balance going more towards attack.
Yeah.
It's not deeply obvious,
Right.
but
Sure.
they are very on edge right now.
Yeah. Do you wish to roll an insight?
You can. It's not my strength. Well, it is a proficient skill. Yeah, that's cocked. 14.
14. You don't sense any ill will. She seems overly curious from a studious perspective. Not again. It's not a, oh my God, what are you gawking thing at all. It's very intellectually curious in a friendly way.
Yeah.
Seems harmless,
Okay.
although probably a little off-putting.
Seems.
A little off-putting, perhaps. Well, at any rate, I don't wish to pry, but if you would ever wish to tell me a bit about yourself sometime, I love to learn things, as Ranvin and Al, and where's Fragile? Did she not join you?
But she had to excuse herself for a moment.
How long has Fragile been gone?
I know she stepped off to the restroom just as a little after Balon went to get a round of drinks, and then
Just
Odra
a-
popped in. So just a couple minutes, a few minutes.
Sometimes you gotta go.
Cloud, Willowspur, they come over with a wine goblet, and they kind of nod at Odra, and Odra smiles. Thank you. And to you, my friend. She raises her goblet to Al. Thank you. She kind of leans in next to you, kind of scooches in a little bit to sit. We should spend some time looking through some old books, some tomes. Sometime, I think.
Oh, sweet mother of Jesus.
Can I roll an insight check to see whether she seems genuinely interested now, or is she lying about that?
Sure.
She wants to steamroll his heart into the ground.
Romance in your early 20s always ends well.
Hello, Mrs. Robinson.
Are you trying to
That
seduce her, Mrs.
is
Starkley?
a 17.
17. You get a strong sense that she's sincere and interested and quite kind. It might be a little surprising because it seems a little forward. Forward is such a strong word. Just a little like, oh, well, But she's not being crass or too coy. Just very plain about asking if Al would like to spend an evening looking through books and such.
Okay.
She's gonna steal the dagger while I sleep or something. Like it's, I would love to. The opportunity to learn is why I begun my personal journey away from my homeland. And while I have seen the library on which of the Lord on which we work for, a repository of knowledge such as yours in such a foreign land, I imagine that there would be many scholars back at my academy who would trade places with me for this opportunity.
I would be inclined to agree, just as knowing the collection like I do. But, yes, and of course that other book you mentioned certainly piqued my curiosity as well.
Yes, like I said, it is. I feel it is time. I will have used it for my own studies, and I do not want to delay its return to its rightful owners while we attend to other matters.
Very well. Well,
A wink.
Just a quick note, Scott. Gears has flipped their hood back up again and gone back into hiding,
Okay.
and is pushing back a little bit from the table.
Very well.
Does it seem like their tension has eased?
For Gears,
Mm-hmm.
not particularly, but they're just waiting to see what happens.
Okay.
I'm go chopping up my girlfriend now.
You're hearing something along the lines of steel grinding on a wooden haft as it gets gripped very tightly. And no, that's not Al.
I know. All right, because I'm stupid, I'm gonna start like trying to impress her with my rudimentary level 4 magic compared to whatever she can do. I'm gonna like basic stuff. I'm gonna summon Delphi, let him do cute little kitty cat stuff, fake kitty cat stuff all around.
He needs
Use
a litter box for that.
prestidigitation to make like a laser pointer with my finger to help Delphi along. Mage hand some things.
Excuse me.
Just genuinely try to impress her as best as an awkward young level 4 wizard can.
So at one point, she is going to laugh hysterically and say, "Let me show you what I can do."
That might be the point
She's
here.
going to, and she's going to cast a spell, and suddenly Odra is replaced with Fragile, who is laughing hysterically. She's like, "You really got it for her, don't you?"
Oh, dude, that hurt. Oh man, that hurts. Oh,
You are so smitten.
I knew it was you. I knew it was you the
You're
whole
so
time.
cute, Al. You're so cute.
I knew it was you the whole time. Al's like, all right, so yeah, so Al is gonna fail his embarrassment saving throw.
I would like to give Mike an inspiration for that.
Yeah, dude, that was awesome.
That's
I will
So
also put
funny.
inspiration for that.
So I really got to thank the DM. I don't want to give him inspiration because that might get used on me though.
Oh, I would.
Because I asked him if he could role play it for me.
That's amazing.
That's why you're in the bathroom, huh? I thought you were talking to Mama Raven Queen.
No.
No, he was
Nope,
talking to
messing
you. She was talking to you.
I knew it was you the whole time.
She thanks him for the drink and slides her sweet red wine over next to the one that he bought her.
I sense levels and trickster cleric coming.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, and Gears, my friend. We all know that you are your own person. So that Ronvin didn't create you despite her great talent.
Well played.
So what's the plan in the morning, guys? Now that it's just us. Do we want to inform anybody? Do we want to sneak off?
we are meeting with. I cannot remember his name for the life of me. What is his name again?
Balon?
Elon?
Yeah, Balon said he would meet with us outside when we leave in the morning. I think. Yeah, that's what he said.
Yes. Early in the morning.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna stick to just these 2 drinks then.
Is there anything else you all wanted to do or discuss before fast forwarding into your evening in your rooms at the Raven's Claw?
No, I think Gulliver actually excuses herself like pretty soon after this, and she just kind of goes back to the room, and it's like like Calaveras not necessarily good at hiding things, and you can tell she's a little thrown off, and and also she's not usually the first one back to the rooms. She's gone.
Calavera, would you like me to walk with you?
Oh, if you don't have to leave early if you don't want to. It is your decision, I suppose.
Oh, I'll walk along. We're in a strange place.
Okay.
Gears will accompany. They don't have much use for the tavern anyway.
Al's got studying to do, so he'll turn in early as well.
Ow.
I gotta copy stuff on my spell book. It's not because I'm embarrassed.
Totally not.
Not entirely.
Way to bring down the mood, Calavera.
Buzzkill. Oh, that's awesome. So everybody's kind of making their way back over to the Raven's Claw, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, any further RP or anything, or do you want to head into your nightly ablutions and say that we awake refreshed in the morning?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah, that's fine.
About how much time we have, just to.
I'd say you all were headed in early. You're going to have plenty of time, probably 10 hours between when you leave the tavern and when you want to be out in front of the Dragon's Fangs in the morning with.
I am going to. Yes, I'll do that.
Awesome. So we shall
Okay.
get the hay and get a long rest in.
Yeah, why don't we do that? And what we'll do, I think now would be a delightful time just for a quickie stretchy. Can we do that?
Yep.
Real quick stretch out.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, let's take 5 minutes, and it's 8:45 or so. We'll be back 10 till 9 till 8 till something like that. So we'll see you all shortly.
Sure.
Don't go away, please. Don't go away. Don't go away. All right, we're back, and man, thank you for the raid, Murfeather. That's awesome. We were just having a little break.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome. Glad to have you aboard. So, it's long rest time, so everybody retool, refill, replenish based on long rest. And it's the next day, and as the next day, it's actually the first of Eliasis, which is the month called High Sun. It corresponds with August, back on Toril. So, again, thanks for the raid. Glad to have you all aboard. Here we go. Y'all are waking up. Today's the day you go in search of the source of these zombie gnomes. You're each, I believe we are 2 to a room, right? In the Raven's Claw Inn.
We have 2 rooms, right?
I think you have 3 between the group, don't you? Or is it 3 to a room and you have 2 rooms?
I think we were given 2 rooms.
Okay, so you have
Anyway, either way,
3
I'm sure nothing hinky's going on.
to a room. Take it away.
Al spent most of the night after getting back to the inn, copying from the spell book they found long ago. Now that he has spell like materials to copy to his personal spell book, so he's just been enraptured doing that and embarrassed and not wanting to talk to anybody.
Fair enough. I can see why that is.
I got played.
So it's morning time.
Julie's just going to come down.
Go ahead.
Just going to come down and look for some breakfast.
Again, you will see Mila, the proprietor, dressed in her leathers with chain shirt, very muscled, clearly a warrior of some sort, setting out cheeses and meats and fruits for just a simple grab and go type breakfast. And she smiles. I hope everything is to your liking. You rested well?
Everything is wonderful. Thank you, Mila.
Very well. So are you the group that will be investigating the zombie gnomes and where they may have come from?
That would be us. Or it certainly travels fast in this place.
Well, it's not very big. And it's not every day that we have a bunch of zombie gnomes issue forth from a sinkhole in the middle of our enclave. But I do thank you for your part in containing them.
Well, if we run into any more, we will be sure to send them your regards.
Much appreciated. And she leaves you to your business.
So, everybody looking forward to the trip?
Oh, you see, Bronwyn is kind of... Not really.
No?
Oh, I just had a weird dream, and it kind of just... I have a bad feeling about this. We should be careful. I mean, yeah, there might be some really cool stuff there, but I just have a bad feeling.
Was there something specific you dreamed about?
Just... And she kind of just shakes her head. She's like, well, just let's be careful, okay? Let's make sure we're you know, up on our toes all the time and make sure, you know, we're safe.
Fair enough. is unsettling.
Delving underground can be unsettling. This area reputes to be unstable. The dark spires move. I do not have a basis of familiarity with that. We're all used to open sky above our heads, not hundreds of tons of millions of tons of rock that could come crashing down.
Also unsettling.
The need for care is evident.
So Fragile is going to have her packed weapon appear in her hand so that it's already there for the day. And she's going to put it in a scabbard so she's actually carrying two swords.
Very well. All right. So what? Go ahead. Go ahead, Gears.
We will need light sources.
I will.
Well, we have torches, do we not?
Limited. I think
And we have magic that can create light that can also help for those who cannot see in the dark.
Yeah. Wiley, how are the streets lit in this?
There are lanterns on posts here and there on the front of buildings, but there's a unnatural glow that you hadn't really thought about it until just now, and you're like, yeah, how? Wait a minute, and it dims at night and gets dark. So there's probably a magical source of light somewhere that's kind of providing the sense of daylight, nighttime, that circadian.
I was just thinking in terms of like, do we see if there are lamps or anything like that?
There are some lamps and lanterns on posts and on the front of buildings as well.
Right. They're just conventional oil lamps, I take it then?
Yep.
Okay. We'll probably need some lamps then.
Fragile says she can be one of the ones in the front since she can see normally. So her vision's a little bit better than anybody else's in the group. And she won't say that with any sense of superiority, just a sense of, let me do this that way. We've got eyes to the front, and I can hopefully see anything coming that's a threat to us.
That's another option if someone can. I think, Al, you did this as well. If someone wants to give me the ability to see in the dark, I could always sneak ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, but please be careful. And touch real and cast dark vision on him for 8 hours.
Perfect. Well, thank you.
I'm gonna go with the torch.
Calavera, how are you feeling this morning?
I'm sorry, what? And she's like still like a little bit out of it, like unfocused.
Yeah.
That was
You all
great,
right?
Calavera. I thought it was really you. Like that. I thought
Okay.
you were.
What?
You totally fooled me. I thought you were like trying to get yourself together, that you weren't in character.
It's a little bit of both.
Nice.
What was that?
Dead being tired.
Are you all right?
No, yeah, I'm just not. I don't quite like it. There's no sun. I haven't seen the sunrise since we've been here, and I don't like missing it.
Well, um, the symbol that I got at the Temple of Lathander in Dagger Falls, does that have a sun on it?
It's like a horizon with a sunrise coming up over it. Some rays. Yeah. But not like a sun in the sky, if that makes sense. It's a sunrise.
Okay. I will pull that out and say, not the same, but maybe it'll bring you some comfort. I'll just kind of tuck it in a pocket that she has.
Not quite the same, but thank you.
Understand.
It's hard to explain, I guess. But thank you. I do appreciate it.
Well, I suppose the sooner we leave, the sooner we'll be back.
Yes, let us be going.
What was that?
Let's
Oh,
let's go.
all right.
You're going to make your way out then to the Dragon's Fangs to meet up with Balon?
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fine.
Okay. He is out front in his chair, little table beside it. He has a stoneware mug of coffee. His staff is kind of between his legs, up over one shoulder, just kind of resting there, almost like think of it like a cello might be, right up, along his neck. And he's just sitting there with his eyes closed, holding his coffee, like you do when you're waking up, kind of. You can see there's like a little clay, shallow cup or bowl with a pipe tipped over, and some ash in the bowl. And he's just sitting there quietly. The streets of the Enclave are pretty well empty at this point. It's early. You got up early.
Well, good morning.
Oh. Ready to go, I see. And he kind of regards everyone, looking over your gear.
Are you ready to go too? You want to come with us on another adventure?
Not this one. Perhaps another one, though, and maybe when you return, we could go out and do a bit of scouting about, see what trouble we can get into. And he kind of mutters something under his breath to the staff.
Hopefully not another creature like the one you've got hanging over your door.
Ah, the bullet, yes. That was quite a time. It's a fine memory. Nice memento, and it protects from anything falling, too. Very practical, as well as decorative. He kind of laughs.
Sure.
So, any questions or anything before you set out? I assume you still plan to go down the tunnels.
Indeed.
We are.
Yeah, and I think we have all the equipment that we would need. There wasn't anything we needed to grab before we went, was there?
Light sources,
We
probably.
needed to get.
You might
Oh, I did have a thing I wanted to buy.
you might take a
Okay.
a pick or an axe or two with you, just in case you need to move some rock, maybe some climbing gear, rope, pitons. The standard dungeoneering gear will be fine, I'm sure.
Where can we come by these things?
Well, I could just easily supply you with gear right from here. No problem at all. If you'll just wait a moment, and he kind of gets up and kind of leans on the staff and ambles around the building. He doesn't go back into the building, but he kind of works his way around. That's got the 3 round buildings, and he's gone just a few moments, and you hear, like a door open and close, and then open and close again, kind of like it's on some means of tension that would pull it, kind of slam shut like a screen door almost. And he comes back with a couple of picks, some pitons, and a couple of small hammers for pounding them into the rock. I don't know what the terrain will be like, but just, standard gear for tunneling, dungeoneering.
Gears will take one of the picks.
Do you also know, this was a thing that I was thinking about, but do you know where I could maybe get a kit of something for helping heal small wounds in the lake?
Oh, sure, yeah. You could visit the apothecary. Ardolvin keeps that. It's in the bazaar. Shouldn't be too much trouble to find.
Okay, I can go run and get that while the rest of you are figuring everything out so that you don't have to wait for me. I don't know if you all had quick supplying to do. Because I just realized that I got the healer's feat, but I never grabbed a healing kit so I can use the healer feat, so I should probably go get one.
Good call.
1 or 2.
1 or 2, probably 2. That's probably a good idea. So can I go run and buy that?
You certainly can, as far as the DM is concerned.
Thank you, DM.
You're more than welcome. Yeah, so you dash around the corner, past the sinkhole to the right, down into the bazaar, and you have no trouble. Right on the main way, you find the stand. It says apothecary, and there's kind of some herbs and things, a couple of like vials, a wood painted sign, and you enter, and there's a very slender, robed, probably 5'10" dark-skinned elf standing at the counter, and you see various measuring devices and bottles and vials and things, and on the shelves you see all manner of containers full of goodness knows what. It's not a very big shop. You could probably only get about 4 or 5 people standing in there together. It's pretty small, and he nods. Good morning. What may I do for you?
Hello, I was wondering if you would happen to have any kits full of medical supplies for fixing small injuries in the lake?
Oh, I see. Yeah, like an herbalism sort of thing. Yes. Yes, I do. They are 6 gold each.
Less herbs, more bandages and the like. I'm looking for healer's kits.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Not herbalism kits.
Okay. I do have
Could I
that.
please have 2 of those?
You may.
Could I please have 2 of those?
Let me go back and get those for you. And he kind of, as you're asking, he just kind of turns around and, without letting you finish, steps away and disappears into the back. And he comes back just after a couple of minutes, pretty quickly, and he has 2 leather pouches. And he sets them on the counter. I presume you're going into the tunnels or into the mountain. Is that
Oh, yes, I am.
very well?
Everyone seems sad.
Well, that's what people do here. They either hang out in the enclave or they go into the mountain. And most people who anticipate trouble start off with a healer's kit. These
That
as
does seem-
these as well are 6 gold.
Okay. She will easily pay that.
Okay. Very well. Hope to see you again. Is there anything else you need?
Of course, thank you. Going to look around. Is there anything here that's like catching her eye at all? Something that could be useful? I already have a few potions of healing, so that's good.
Yeah, you see a couple of healing potions on one of the shelves. You know, the thick pink viscous, pretty typical. It's just, various powders and salves and tinctures and ointments and, bottles of this, that, and the other thing. Looks kind of like home remedy
Is
sort
there
of things.
anything here? Is there anything here that looks like it could help with paralysis at all? Since that's something that we've seen.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, there's a couple of anti-venoms and it'll even say on there, like, for paralysis, spider bite, things of that nature. Anti-venom poison, that sort of thing.
Could I also have one of those? And she'll point at the antitoxin.
Okay. Yes, that is 8 gold for that. He pulls it down. You could get probably 3 uses of this from this. And he opens it up. There's like a lid on. He kind of unscrews it, and it's got this oily, dark, thick, salve-looking tincture in it. Just put this over the bite or whatever, the sting. Apply generously and give it 15 minutes to half an hour, and it should stabilize any effects of poison.
Okay, that should be helpful. Thank you very much.
Very well.
Yep, easily pays for that too.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I think that should be enough for right now. Thank you so much for being so helpful.
Of course. Good luck.
Thank you.
Wherever you may be going.
She takes off back to the group, so they're not waiting for her.
Okay. Yep. Fair enough. All right. So you're gonna get on your way?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Balon wishes you well. We'll see you back. Hopefully quite soon and quite safe.
Onward.
Okay. So you make your way through the enclave. Obviously, you're not that far from where the sinkhole opened up. And you make your way down into the sinkhole. And they've cleared away a lot of the rubble. So it's made it much easier to get yourselves down into the sinkhole. And it is a good 12 feet deep. Give or take 20 feet in general roundish circumference-ish. And sure enough, there's a tunnel on the one wall kind of facing north. And it appears to be quite dark. There are torches on kind of stakes that have been pounded into the ground at the edge of the tunnel. And you see a dwarf wearing chainmail, armed with a short sword and there's a spear leaned up against the wall, and you see a tiefling, and they have a halberd and a crossbow, and they are in chain shirt and leathers, and they're just kind of on either side of the opening, the tunnel opening. Clearly, they're there, apparently standing guard, and they have a sort of a heraldry bit that looks familiar that you noticed on Galeth on their chests, and it's an axe with a chip, rather sizable chip out of the blade, the head of the axe. The tiefling steps forward. You must be the party going in search of whatever created this.
Iron Phoenix.
Iron Phoenix. Very, very nice. Well, best of luck to you. I don't know what you'll find down there. You can clearly see the ichor that the zombie gnomes left behind. And you look down and there's a kind of a dried, gooey slick. There's footprints in it. Easy to tell. It just looks like, blood ichor was drug across the floor of the tunnel. The tunnel's roughly about 8 feet across, give or take about 8-9 feet high. It's rough hewn, and as you determined when you first investigated, it looks relatively freshly hewn. There's bits and chips of stone and pickaxe marks and the like, and you have just a little bit of dim light shining down the tunnel from the torches where the two mercenaries stand guard. And I will need a...
I suppose we should...
I was just going to say, I will need a marching order when you get started. Go ahead, Al.
Yeah. That's what I was going to ask for. Just we got to figure that out.
Yeah, Runyon is still pretty... So she wants to be more up front, so she can look around and make sure that everything's safe. She's just like, it's the first time that she actually cares. She's just thinking something's going to happen.
Yeah. I'm getting the impression we're also going to have to go single file in this. Like, this is not a two abreast situation.
No.
Not at the start here, for sure. It would be very, very close quarters.
Did we get a lantern or something? Or were we just going to go with torches, I guess?
Torches.
Dark vision.
No dark vision. I'm good to go.
Yeah. So
Yes, I think.
I expect what we're going to have is Rue at front. Sorry, Calavera, go ahead.
Oh no, you're fine. I think most of us have dark vision right now, right?
Yeah, and she also has the light cantrip if we do need to throw the light.
Well, it's Manny and me who don't see in the dark.
You're
I
fine.
mean, I could change that real quick.
Because he got spell for that.
Let's just all hold hands. Single file.
Remember, I can also touch Tinny
1,
swoops,
2.
so she makes light.
I'm gonna give Gears dark vision 2 because I imagine with Rue off like in the front, Gears will be kind of huddled with the group, and they can't not be able to see. So I'm gonna touch Gears on their impressive back and give them dark vision as well.
Okay. And you said Rue was going first, is that correct?
I'm happy to do so or not
Did
do
I-
so as the group would like.
I don't know if I heard that right. I just wanted to make sure. I'm not saying that has to be the thing.
Yeah, it makes sense to have a scout.
Okay.
Just a stealthy one.
Ronvin, did you want to go next since you wanted to be up near the front? Okay.
All right. Gears will follow Rodvin, I think. Actually, no, I will put... I'll be behind Manny. I'm behind, I'll keep the wizard and our cleric protected. So I'll take it back, I guess.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
Rue Ronvin. Where's Fragile in all this? Oh, you're going to take the end, yeah? Because you can see.
It's up to you guys. I see further than anybody, so I can scout. If you want me to hang out in the backs to see things behind us, I'm easy. So Rue's probably got better tracking abilities than I do, because mine's plus 0.
Yeah, I don't have any slots for dark vision. Well, I do, but it's 1. So I'm gonna be carrying a torch, and I don't want to be like in the way or having people like in my way if I got blast something to tell like everybody to get down. I'll be, I guess, at the second to back. This way there's only one person if we get jumped from the back for me to have to worry about.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Galavera's good being somewhere in the middle. That way she can reach the most amount of people if she needs to.
Okay, so we can go Rue, Ronvin, Calavera.
Yeah, and the moment we get hit, I can just fairy fire all of them so that they'll be visible. If we want to get fancy.
Purple light.
Do you want to go Rue, Ronvin, Calavera, Al, Gears, Fragile?
Yeah, that'll work.
Going once.
It's old.
Going twice. Okay, if you want to change that up, just let me know.
No, we're good.
Okay.
yeah, I'm assuming I'm at the end. I froze, so I didn't hear what happened. I'm at. Where'd you guys put me?
Rue, Ronvin, Calavera, Al, Gears, Fragile.
Okay.
And if you need to make an adjustment to that, just let me know. Otherwise, I will assume that is the marching order.
All right.
So
I cannot see but my torchlight, so I'm trusting everybody in front of me.
And for
In
now, we're
that
going
case, then-
no light source, correct?
Yes, until I guess we get deep enough that whatever ambient light from the enclave is gone.
Yeah. What we could also do is like if Penny swoops, if you touch her, she makes light. If somebody wants Penny swoops, they just can. If they need light, that's fine. So she's offering like
keep our
somebody.
light sources to a minimum if we can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just a
it's-
sandwich.
Yeah, it's just the light will come on with a touch, so you don't even need an action or anything. You don't need to cast nothing. You just touch her and she lights up.
Anyone can do that?
Hmm?
Anyone can touch her to make light?
Yeah, because it's magical tinkering.
Okay, cool.
How cool
So
is that?
it's 5 feet of light around you.
Nothing like that.
Could come in handy.
Rude's gonna try to go about 60 feet ahead. He's got his bow out, and he is definitely, as much as possible, slinking from shadow to shadow and trying to stay as stealthy as possible.
Okay.
60 feet is
What
perfect, and we
is
can just
what
see you.
is Rue's passive perception?
15.
15. Okay.
So
All right.
He's actively looking.
All right. So you make your way in, and the party waits for you to get about 60 feet out, and then they follow you in. And the the dwarf and the tiefling just kind of nod and maybe offer a fist bump or some kind of a appropriate good luck mercenary
Nice.
clinch. Yeah. So in you go, and it's no time at all. Maybe only 40 feet away from the entrance, and it begins to get quite dark. Who knew? And as you're going along, Rue, it's not difficult to follow the trail of the zombies. There's bits and detritus and ichor dried. It's easy enough to mark the passing. And the tunnel isn't uniform. You could tell it's been excavated, with haste in mind versus quality. Rather hastily excavated. Sometimes the ceiling's a little bit lower, sometimes a little bit higher. Sometimes it's a little wider. There are the occasional crack. If you're, looking around and so forth, or on the walls, there's the occasional crack or fissure that opens up in the floor or the wall. It generally goes north for a while, 100 feet maybe, and then it turns west. And it's just it's not a sharp right turn. It's just a general bend to the west. And it's becomes very, very quiet pretty quickly. Once you get around that bend, and for Geely, you can look back and see the opening, the light, and you go around the corner, and it just feels very quiet. It's very still. It's sort of dank. Nothing's dripping or anything like that, but it's just, and it's how that ambient ground temperature is about 50 degrees. That's kind of what you got going on here. And this tunnel kind of winds. It's not entirely straight. And you notice a couple of times, Rue, that there are these darker seams of black in the wall going vertically, especially when you're going around a bend. And it happens enough times that you figure that is probably the Grendel root spires that they tunneled around. Right? And you get going in here for a couple of hours, and it's just quiet and dark. None of you hear anything. I've got like Ronvin has got the 20 passive perception. You're not hearing anything with that. And even Rue, you're not hearing anything with your 15 passive perception. And you've gone in probably 2-3 hours now, and it's wound around. And does anyone have what is that called? Stone cunning, where you can keep your sense of direction underground. I think that's what that is.
Hell no.
I think dwarves.
Jungles, bro. No.
No, isn't stone cutting the one where you can look at the different types of like stone materials and stuff and tell where it comes from and stuff?
You're right.
I don't think it does anything with direction.
You get an advantage on history rolls, yeah. I think the one that you're, isn't it Keen Mind? Always knows where north is.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, there's a feat
Keymind is
for that, but there's
Keymind
also
is the memory one, but I think Druids get something.
you don't have any problem following the trail.
The tool. Am I still seeing the tool marks that we found originally?
Yeah, there are
still...
there are stretches where it's not excavated. Like it looks like maybe they tapped into an existing tunnel for a stretch of time distance.
Okay, but it still looks recent. The ones that we do see.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
You've passed through a few bigger chambers. You've seen some chambers off of the when you're, especially if you're on like a wider, what seems to be a little bit more of a natural tunnel. There have been places where there might be a chamber, like a little opening in a cave off to the side, or you might walk through kind of an open area that's larger, cavernous. You can tell right away. I mean, obviously, whoever's got dark vision can sense, but you could just feel the air just feels a little bit different. You can feel the openness. You can even feel the ceiling is higher, and then it kind of comes back down into a tunnel. But the whole time, you're able to easily follow the trail of Icar from all those zombies. A number of those zombies came cruising through here, and they just left it's almost like a bunch of snails came through. They just left this yuck. Zombie detritus. And the only sound, unless anybody's speaking, is the sound of your own heart beating or the sound of footfalls as you walk, or the sound of your breathing. It is oppressively quiet and fairly dank. There's a few places where you hear the drip of water, like in one of the side caverns. And that's just kind of how it goes for 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
Does the tunnel look like it was dug like in a not like a linear straight line, but like it doesn't like branch off or anything? Like however they got from wherever they started to where it popped up, like it looked very deliberate.
The excavated tunnel breaks into what look to be more natural tunnels, or maybe tunnels that were excavated more expertly and they are much older. So it's easy to determine the newer excavation from the natural tunnels or the older. Like they would.
So this wasn't one big project from wherever it started to.
No, they were able to
Deep
take
down the
advantage
enclave.
of some existing passageways that headed generally in the direction they wanted to go. 100%. Yeah.
But if all the tool marks that we're seeing, or at least if we continue to see recent tool marks, then somebody did make a beeline toward.
Yeah, you can
Devil's
tell
Enclave.
that the tunnels were created to get them from wherever they started to
Yeah.
the enclave.
Yeah.
100%. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, Drew's gonna keep pressing on as until something happens because he wants to get the best use out of the 8 hours that he can.
Sure. And it just goes this way. You at some point cross like what seems like a small stream, just a little waterway. It kind of pours out of a fissure in one wall and runs, and it's been there long enough that it's made its own waterway down the tunnel you're in. You know, it widens out a little bit. You could probably walk 2 or 3 abreast. This is in a more natural part of the tunnelway. Yeah. It's just kind of like that.
I'll taste the water.
Okay. Yeah, so you taste the
Just
water, and
little-
it's tastes very clear, clean water, like well filtered, fresh, well water, I guess, for lack of a better description, but not like the sulfury.
I'll just replace what I've. Yeah, I'll just replace what I've used. Any of it I've used out of my water skins
Sure,
while we've been walking.
excellent. Okay. It's probably been 4 or 5 hours, so it's easily midday by your reckoning. Since you've left, you left pretty early in the morning. Just gonna continue making your way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on some point we'll have to take a break for eating and bodily functions, but else, yeah.
Understood.
Julie will be eerily quiet and not singing, because a couple times she does, it's not going to sound right, echoing off the walls.
Okay. You've been for a while now. You've been in a stretch of cavern that seems more natural than excavated. But again, following the zombie trail has not been an issue. It's a little bit wider, probably 15 feet wide, kind of an open cavern. Excuse me. And for Geely,
Yo.
you notice that, well, it's hard to miss because there's this loud crash, and all at once splinters of rock and earth and stone spray all across mostly you. Gears, you're hit by some of this. It's coming kind of from behind a little bit. And it's just kind of a general roar, grinding of stone and just spraying all at you from behind.
Well, I'm definitely going to get my shield up and kind of try to just step backwards and ascertain what's going on. I'm pretty sure the rest of them heard it with how silent everything else is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's dust choking. I
Yeah.
mean, it's quite obvious that something has occurred involving a large volume of rock and stone, kind of almost, for lack of a better term, kind of blowing out of one of the walls as you walk past it.
I'm going to, until enough dust clears that I can actually see, I'm going to kind of hold my ground.
Okay.
See if it's a cave in, make sure it's not something trying to attack us.
Yeah. So as you turn to see what all the fuss is about, I think what I'm going to do for Geely is I'm going to have you make a charisma saving throw, DC 15,
Okay.
and I'm going to drop an image of what you all see in our Discord. It's also
That's a 17.
It's also on stream, but I'm going to drop it in Discord. As this dust and everything kind of starts to settle, a rather large form is standing in the tunnel. So it's in the Discord as well. And it's like this chitinous, huge, armor-plated, bipedal, clawed, huge freaking mandibles on the front of it.
Oh dear.
And we're going to roll initiative. Gears.
All right. So yeah,
I'm going to have Gears roll the
I rolled a
same.
17.
Okay, I got you. You're fine. I'm going to have Gears roll the same charisma save, please.
Ah. Yeah, right.
21.
Hang on the initiatives.
All right.
Gears
Holding on.
Gears rolled a 17 and has no charisma to speak of, so it's a flat 17.
Okay.
Oh, we got to roll a charisma too?
Just
No,
Gears
no,
and
this-
for Julie.
All right.
Fortunately, she
Julie's
did.
going to be like, shit, what's that?
Okay. 25 to 20. Okay, Ronvin's got 21, right? You said?
Yes, 21.
Okay, 20 to 15.
17.
16 for Gears.
15 to 10?
14 for Julie.
I got a 13, which is really good for me.
Yeah.
Over 10.
You're showing the single digits.
I think that leaves you, Rue.
With a rogue.
Does with my 8.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, two.
Fine. You're fine.
I mean, man, Rue, this could be over by the time you get to go. I mean, yeah, no, it's cool. It's all good.
And come all the way from the back.
Okay. Ronvin, you may act first. You do have most of the party between you and the hulking. You know, this thing has got to be 9 feet tall, at least. You know, and it's kind of hunched over like you see in the image. And it
Right.
appears to be ready to use its mandibles on Fragile and or Gears.
Okay, so I totally don't have a clean shot.
You could, because it's taller than Gears or Fragile, so you could shoot at it. I would say let's do partial cover, just because you've got party members.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Explain that to me one more time.
Yeah, I'm digging
How
it
does
up.
that work again?
I'm digging it up.
Yeah. because
They get
me
a
and cover.
You get a -2 to hit, or they get a +2 to AC. I think.
All right, so it's half cover or no cover. So half cover. Yeah, -2 to AC and dex saving throws. So just go ahead and roll your attack.
All right. Oh, for Pete's sake.
Cool.
I rolled a 2, so that's a 7.
Okay, what are you using to attack?
The lightning launcher.
Okay, yeah, so that just scours across the ceiling of the cavern, just causing little bits of rock and stuff. And that smell of electrical ozone. Yeah, that's the one. Very good. Anything else you'd like to do?
Just move over to like as far to one side as I can so that I can get a better view.
Okay.
And that's it.
The
My bonus actions over here.
this big old thing. I mean, it's just horrific looking. Again, 9 feet tall at the shoulder. It's kind of all hunched over. Leans over Fragile. And you see it just trying to claw and mandible you.
Mandible me.
Yeah, does a 19 hit?
Oh yeah.
So 21 probably hits too, right?
Oh yeah.
And does a 17 hit?
Okay.
Yep.
So all 3 hits. So 2 claws and a mandible hit. Okay, that's exciting.
Virgili would disagree.
Okay, so you got 16 slashing from the claws. And, ouch, 19 slashing from the mandible.
Oh, shit.
All right, I'm down.
Nice. Okay.
I had all kinds of groovy stuff. I was going to kill it in one shot, but I guess that's not happening now.
Gears, roll me perception.
Perception.
In fact, anybody that's turned to face the horror that is now behind you.
22.
Okay, who else is rolling perception?
18.
24.
7.
16.
Okay, everyone but Al notices a second form kind of behind this first one, but it's noticeably smaller, but it's shaped similarly. Yes, Fragile, your question.
Those hits came one at a time, right?
Claw, mandible. Correct.
So after the first hit, I'd like to use my reaction before I go down.
Yep.
And I would like to cast Shield
Okay.
to make the mandible hit go away.
Okay. Fair enough. So you took 16 from the 2 claws.
Perfect.
9 and 7.
Okay.
So are you not down?
Nope, I am not down.
Okay. Very good. The other form is back there, kind of behind, but it's not able, because of the size of the largest one, it's unable to reach you at this point. Al, you're up.
Oh, none of it hit. Nice.
I am going to cast a Scorching Ray on the big thing. And I imagine the half cover thing still applies as well. I would be between me and the thing is Fragile and Gears.
Yeah, I would say. Till you all can kind of spread out this first round. Till you can tactically. Right now you're kind of reacting. If you want to move.
Do we have enough?
We're about 2 may go abreast. It's about a 10-foot wide,
Okay.
12-foot wide passage. So you could move and,
So,
and
so by the
remove that.
way, I moved all the way right, Al.
Um, yeah, I guess I'm gonna move to whatever side, like would get me a shot between Fragile and Gears.
Yeah, that's fine. And you're about 10 feet, 12 feet back. You've got Fragile and Gears essentially in melee with this thing.
All right. I'm gonna hopefully blast the hell out of this thing. All right. Not good. Not good at all. All right. 21, 13, and 8 are my rolls. I imagine the 8's no good.
The 8's no good, the 13's no good, but the 21 is a hit.
Ooh. Oh, no. It is going to take 7 points of fire damage.
Okay.
Wow, that was not very impressive for a second level spell slot. Boo.
You said 7 points of fire.
Yes, sir.
So since you're going to target this thing, I'm going to ask you to make a DC 15 charisma save.
That's going to be a 13, but I'm going to use one of my lucky die and try that again.
You could also use a +2 to make your save, if you'd wish, instead of burning a luck die.
I got die to spare. And all right, well, let's just say I failed. Bad.
Okay. Luck
Uh-oh.
does have two directions, doesn't it? Okay.
Sure.
Very well. You're immediately really confused. Like everything's kind of spinning. You're just not sure what the hell's going on. Yeah. So just hang loose with that for now.
Cool. Be confused. Gotcha.
Yeah. Gears. You're up. You just saw Fragile get torn into by a couple of wild claw swings by this thing, and the mandibles went around her, but somehow didn't damage her.
That's cool. So this thing looks like it's got some pretty nasty armor on it, I guess.
Yeah, it's like a chitinous, hard exoskeletal sort of arrangement.
All right. All right. Here we go. Bless you.
Thank you.
Gonna pop the scimitar blades out. One's gonna be the magical one, and the other one's gonna be a normal one. And for the first attack, I'm going to use a superiority die precision attack, which will give me a superiority die added to the roll before or after the roll. So I'll just roll first to see if I hit or not, I guess. And if not, I will add the superiority die. Or not if I roll a 2. So I'll just leave that as is. I missed.
Right. On our side tonight.
Bonus action, second attack. Oh dear Lord, that's a 4.
Is it a bonus action?
I'm gonna die.
I'm a two-handed dual wielder like you.
You don't have extra attack yet?
That's level
We're
5.
not level 5 yet, kids.
However, I do have an action surge, which I will use.
Very well.
And one additional action, that's just one attack, or is that the full? No, I can't do the bonus action, can I?
Yeah, it's an additional action, so an attack, yes.
Right.
If you were 5th level, you would get both attacks, but you're not. So.
Both attacks, yeah. So what that looks like, because I've never used it before, is Gears. There's a dial or some sort on their chest, and it just gives it a quick crank, and thing seems to speed up for them for a moment, and they pull off another attack with the magical scimitar. That's a nat 20.
So max
I
damage
wish I was
plus
wielding-
your die roll. Very nice.
Right. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's the scimitar, not the glaive. I wish it was the glaive now. Anyway, no take backsies, as they
No
say.
take backsies. Yep.
Yeah. So 6 and 5 is 11 plus 6 damage for strength, and scimitar is 17 damage.
Nice. Yeah, so your blade puts a big crack in one of the shoulder bits of exoskeleton. How much did you say again? I apologize.
That was 17.
Very good. Okay, thank you.
That would be slashing damage, I
Yep,
believe.
I gotcha. Very good. Anything else?
No, I've pretty much blown the load on this one.
Very well. Okay, it is now for Geely's turn. I'm going to assume she's in a foul mood.
She is in a foul mood. Gosh, how does disengage work? It takes your whole movement up, doesn't it?
Yep, it's your action.
Ooh, that's ugly.
You basically, yeah, you are able to then move away without provoking an attack of opportunity.
What can I see of this creature behind me?
What's that? So you're,
Or behind it? You said there was another.
yeah, it looks very similar to the one you're dealing with, only smaller.
Okay. How far away is it?
It's probably 10 feet behind the larger one.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to roll around behind the one that is on me and gears, which would put me within 10 feet of the other one. And I am going to scream in Celestial. The only one I think that could understand me is Ronvin. Basically, I'm calling upon the Raven Queen to empower me, and I need both of those characters. And sadly, Gears are all going to have to make a DC 14 Charisma save, and Fragile is absolutely hacked off at having to throw up a shield to keep from getting eviscerated. And you guys are going to see kind of this nimbus of energy surround her, and your giant black raven wings are going to erupt from her back, and she is going to basically describe in numerous ways the beating she's going to put on these creatures that are trying to hurt her and her friends.
So if I understood your movement correctly, you guys, the party's behind you. You were in the rear, now you're in the front because you turned to face these two things. So you went around the big one to get to the smaller one, is that correct?
Yeah, but I stayed in contact with
Right, you
the
stayed.
big one, so I didn't.
You stayed in
otherwise,
its-
I'd lose.
Right, you stayed in its square. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so you're basically
So both
between
of them,
between the two creatures.
yes,
Nice. Gotcha.
and then the two of them and Gears have to make DC 14 Charisma saves.
Okay. Big one is
That's a
okay. The little one, not so much.
All right, and the little one's kind of in a cavern behind us, right?
Yeah, it's all that kind of that same, about a 12-foot wide, irregular, natural sort of wide tunnel that you're in. And these things just apparently came out of a recess in the wall. Just kind of blew out into the cavern and tried to eat you.
Okay, well, the creature that came out behind it, and sadly, gears are scared of me at the moment. They're frightened.
Okay.
And so the frightened thing says that you have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of fear is within line of sight. I have purposely put myself behind the creature attacking us so that Gears cannot see me.
Okay.
And he cannot move closer to me, but that's okay because I want him to see where he's at and beat the heck out of this thing. The one behind me cannot willingly move closer to me.
Okay. So I'm going to say that, Gears, you just saw this horrifying transformation of your friend Fragile. These dark raven wings just erupted from her back, and her anger has just created this horrifying visage on her face as she disappears around behind the first, huge hulking beast. And you see the shadow behind it start to back up down the cavern, away from where you saw Fragile go. And you can see her legs under the creature. You can see her wingspan beyond the sides of the creature, but you can't really see her. But you're kind of like, I don't know what the Warforged equivalent to cold chill would be, but that was kind of a holy cow moment. Like, she's pissed.
It'd be something like encountering a rust monster.
Right, yeah, not a good feeling for you, yeah.
Not a good feeling.
Fragile, do you have, did that consume your action?
Yeah, it consumed
Okay.
my action.
Okay.
Basically, it reads that once for long rests an action, you can transform, causing all within 10 feet to make a charisma saving throw, or be frightened of you until the end of your next turn.
Okay.
This lasts for 1 minute or until you end it as a bonus action. And then on each of my turns, on one of my attacks or spell damages, I can add 4 points of necrotic damage to it.
Okay. Very nice. Good. Well played. Excellent. Calavera. Calavera, you're probably 12 feet, 14 feet behind Gears. You had Al and Ronvin. You had Al between you and Gears. I apologize. So you're probably about 8 feet from Gears and about 10, 12 feet from the beast.
The big one is hurt.
Yes.
The big one is hurt, right?
Yeah, you saw Gears definitely
the little one hurt?
Slice. It's hard telling. That one is several people away from you. So it's hard. It's really hard telling. All you could really tell is that it was backing down the cavern away from Fragile, flew into this weird rage thing. You saw some of what Gears saw with the wings. And she just kind of went around the big one.
It's also worth noting that Gear's reaction to the frightening would be something, a terrific shriek, the sound of rending metal.
Oof. You made
Can I would like to use a free action to dislike that.
That's cool. You can do that.
Yeah, at the shriek, Calavera absolutely startles, and she reaches up to cover up one of her ears, and then just kind of takes a moment. That was very loud. She's going to look at the one that is closest, the big one that is already hurt, and she is going to tell it that this is enough. You can stop now. And she'll cast Toll the Dead. So that's going to be a DC 13 Wisdom saving throw.
Cool. Would you also make me a DC 15 Charisma save as you look at this creature?
I would.
And then we'll see if I'll be making a Wisdom save or not.
That was a crit shit, but I'm going to use one of my DM inspirations to re-roll that.
That is A-okay with me.
But that was not good. That's an 18.
Okay. Very good. So I will go ahead then and make my charisma save. Your Toll the Dead spell, cantrip, I should say, will go off.
Wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Sorry.
It's a wisdom save.
I rolled a 12, and I don't get a bonus. What was the DC? 14?
Ooh, that one doesn't. 13.
13. Oh, so you got me. So
this one's hurt.
yeah, and this one's hurt. So roll that big D12. Nice.
That's no, yeah. Next level that goes up to 2d12, and that's a full 12 damage.
Nice.
Nice.
Sweet.
Yeah, so this thing,
To the ground.
yeah, it kind of does this deal like almost like a dog does when it hears a really high pitched, like shrieking metal, for instance. Yeah, and it, its bulbous eyes kind of close and flicker. Its mandibles clack 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 together. Clearly doesn't like what just happened.
That's okay. It doesn't have to like.
That was necrotic, correct? Or is that psychic?
It's necrotic.
That is necrotic damage.
Okay. Very well. Anything else you'd like to do, Miss Calavera?
How hurt is Fragile?
Julie's not hurt.
Oh, you're fine. Never mind. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, no.
He's angry.
You're fine. You're fine. This is what Calavera has.
Okay. Rue, it is your turn. You were all the way, and in fact, you probably had to come back because you were 60 feet out when the noise began. So, what would you like to do?
So the creature's what, like 70 feet away from me?
At least, yeah, probably closer to 80 just because there's the depth of the party. You know what I mean? You could go back 60 feet and be to Ronvin, and then you'd probably be a good 15 feet from the creature.
Okay. So yeah, as soon as Rue heard the crash, he spun around and started running back toward the group, but probably hesitated a little bit because of the cloud, and that's probably why he's going last. So, but as it dissipates, I am going to use my cunning action to dash as a bonus action. So I will move a total of 60 feet.
Oh, nice. You don't have to double move. Right?
Right.
You still have an action.
So I will take a shot at this thing.
Stinking rogues. I mean, cool. Rogues are so tough.
Do I need to make a save first?
Yeah, if you're coming racing back and looking at this thing, you sure do.
Okay.
DC 15 Cha save.
Oh. Fail. That was a 9.
That is a 9. Yeah, so let me roll a D8 because that's what it says to do in the book. So
Okay.
you are going to make a melee attack against a random creature. And you have in front of you
Oh, shit.
Ronvin. Let's see here. Ronvin, Calavera, Al, and Gears. And creature. Ronvin, Calavera, Al, Gears, creature.
I'm not within melee of the creature. I'm still 20 feet away from
Yeah,
it.
you're more like within melee of Ronvin, Calavera. So I'm going to roll a
Okay.
D4. Odds will be Ronvin, evens will be Calavera. Does that seem fair to everybody? And I
No,
rolled
but
it.
we'll take it.
Okay, that's an even. So Calavera is your target.
Oh, I have no melee weapon out, so I assume I punch her.
Yeah. I mean, you can draw your rapier. You basically, what happens is you run up on this thing and you get through the dust and, coughing, and you're just, all of a sudden, you're like completely confused. You just don't know what the hell end is up. You don't know who is friend or foe. And so you kind of lash out to the closest creature to attack.
Would I draw my short sword?
And it's Calavera, who looks really sad right now.
So would I draw my short sword then?
I think that's probably, if you were going to melee attack somebody, I think that's probably what your natural thing to do would be, right?
Okay.
Let's carve it.
It's just a minor stabbing.
Not a big deal.
Well, an 11 to hit.
Ooh.
I have 12 AC.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah, so Calavera, out of the dust from behind you, Rue kind of materializes, out of breath from running hard, draws his short sword and takes a swipe at you. At least it sure looks like he's taking a swipe at you because he's looking at you, but his eyes are so distant and his face is so troubled, like confused as he does this. Like, roll me insight if you'd like to. You don't have to, but you can.
Sure, I would love to. That is a 16.
I think it's only fair. I mean, you normally would be like, what? And try to read into what's happening. And he looks, with a 16, really unsure of himself and lost and confused. You do not see in his eyes malice or intent to harm.
Probably also dropped his short bow and arrow that he was going to shoot.
Yeah, that's
once
probably
he
on the
did
floor.
this.
Yeah. That's fair. Because that's all kind of free action. Anything else you want to do there, Rue, buddy?
No, I think I've done enough.
Yeah, Rude, you want to take another swing? You want to take another swing there?
You want a piece of this? Yeah.
Figured I did.
Okay. We're top of the order, and that means only one thing. Ronvin.
Run, man.
Right. How is my shooting range looking?
You
Are they
you
still-
can easily move to a clear shot now that the party has begun to scatter and tactically take position. You kind of have Al kind of standing around. You're not sure what the hell's going on with that guy. You just saw Rue come running up and take a swing at Calavera. You saw Calavera staring intently at the beast. Fragile kind of disappeared. Yeah. What you want to do?
All right. I want to get up my lightning launcher and shoot at the big one again.
Okay. Have at thee.
And that is a 17 to hit.
Sadly, the lightning will reflect off of its armor.
All right. Can I use a +2?
You may certainly do so. That will hit it.
Okay. Okay. So that is 2d6 plus 3. 1d6 plus 3 for a lightning launcher and the extra radiant damage I can do.
That is outstanding.
1, 2d6. Which is a 5. So that is 8. That is a hold up. It is 7 lightning damage and 1 radiant damage.
Okay. Noted. Yeah. I mean, y'all are doing some damage, but it's going strong. Anything else you'd like to do, Rue?
What?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
Ranvan, I
fine.
apologize.
How far is Rue away from me?
I got my R's messed up. Rue is
Is
right
he like-
there with you, beside you, in the tunnel. He just took a swing at
Right.
Calavera.
And then I wanna go. It's like can I use like a bonus action or a free action to just like shove him?
Yeah.
Like stop it.
Like, what the hell was that? Yeah, you could do so. So Ranvan kind of shoves you into the wall. You're just like, what? Who are these people? What's happening? You're utterly confused. Okay, that was Ranvan's turn. The giant beastie thing has a tasty treat in front of it made of metal. And so it's going to take some attack actions towards you. How does a 8-17 do?
That misses.
How about a 22?
That also misses. No, I'm kidding.
It's
22
like,
hits.
holy crap. How about 6 slashing damage as I rolled a 1 on my d8? That was a claw. And then the mandible, well, if a 24 hits, then certainly or 22 hits, certainly a 24 will hit. As the mandibles click upon you for 9 slashing. So 6 and 9 is 15 slashing.
Okay.
This thing
that's-
just
each of
tries
those
to
are-
maul
Each of
you.
those are reduced by 3 because of my armor proficiency.
Nice.
So Gears will shrug them off.
Fragile, are you facing the smaller one? with your back to the big one?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Because I'm focused on taking it down.
Okay, very good. When you get back there, you see that it's only maybe 6 feet tall instead of the towering 9 feet. And as soon as you frightened it, it kind of started to back away, and it's just, its eyes are... Well, you're not looking at it really, so nothing happens.
Yeah.
Al, you are. It is your turn, and let's see here. You are free to
make another save, or am I no longer stumbling around like an idiot?
Hang on a second. The creature can't until the start of its next turn and rolls a d8 to determine. Okay. You are free to have your turn. You kind of fuzz out and kind of like, whoa, what? Whoa. What's going on?
All right. Well, okay. All right. So, I imagine there are loose rocks and the such.
Absolutely.
Hanging out.
Yeah, because this thing just came out of a hole in the wall.
Okay. I'm gonna pick up a rock about 5 pounds in weight.
Okay.
Or just approximately. I'm going to cast Catapult on the large one. I'm going to use my Portent roll of a 3 against a DC of 14. So,
okay.
It's not. And then
I think it's so thoughtful that you roll my saving throws for me. That is.
I'm just trying to help you out, man. You're welcome.
That is smooth. Keeps the game moving.
Yeah. And it takes some of the mystery out of it. And they are going to take a whopping another 7 points of damage.
Doink! As a rock bounces off of it.
Crunch.
Yeah. You get, you break off a piece of its, this hard exoskeleton armor. It's weird. It's creepy. It's got like these hairs all over it. Like, I don't know if they're coming through the skeletal armor or... It's weird. It's got like these like little feeler hairs. Yeah, it's weird. Anything else you want to do, Al?
Nope. I am good.
Okay.
Hit something.
Gears.
Yeah.
You're up.
All right. Well, we'll start swinging with the scimitars again. Hopefully I'll actually hit something this time. Yeah, 3. You're getting retired, Die.
Yes.
Yeah. Bonus action. Oh, for the love of God.
Thanks for the bit, Sarah's Tale. Love that. Thank you so much.
9 and 8 is 17. Does that hit?
It does not, but it's within 2. So if you want to burn a +2, you could make it hit.
I will burn a +2 to make a hit.
Great.
Because this is just getting pathetic. Scimitar. 9 damage.
Okay. It's looking rough. Got some bits of the armor off, chipped and cracked, and it's, some very, looks like dark green blood issuing forth from some of the injuries. Okay. For Julie, you're up.
All right, so Fragilia's going to take 5 steps backwards, which will give your guy an opportunity to attack. I don't know if they're going to try and backhand me or what the deal is.
Yep. Go ahead and resolve your thing, and then I'll do mine.
So I'm going to move 5 feet. I'm going to cast a spell, and then I'm going to move the rest of my movement after I cast the spell.
Okay.
So I am a black beam of enervating energy springs from my fingers towards the creature.
The big one, eh?
And I have to make a ranged spell attack. And, oh, man, why? It's a crit, but there's no damage with it, so
Ah, okay. That's a hit, though.
it's a hit. So the creature can only deals half damage with weapon attacks. Use strength until the spell ends,
Okay.
and then at the end of each of its turns, it can make a DC 14 con save to try and end the spell.
Okay. What's the spell called?
So he has been enfeebled.
Enfeebled.
Rave enfeeblement.
Gotcha.
Nice.
So melee attacks, basically, that are strength-based?
Yeah, and I'm assuming, for Julie's watching it hit, that it's pretty much a strength-based animal.
Yeah. It's just a big hulking pounding. So before you get to use the rest of your move, the one behind you is going to make an attack of opportunity at disadvantage. Does a 12 hit?
No, it does not.
All right. Yeah, so it misses you. You may finish your
And then
movement.
I'm gonna try and move. Yeah, I'm gonna try and move 25 feet away. I don't know what the area we're in is like. Are we in the middle of a cavern?
Yeah, it's about a 12-foot wide natural tunnel passageway. It's all, very unhewed. It's a natural tunnel. Like maybe eons ago it must have been formed by water, that sort of thing. So you could move forward past the big one, but it would get an attack of opportunity once you left its space. Or you could move backward past the smaller one, and it would take another attack of opportunity. Well, it can't do 2 attacks of opportunity. So
No.
it's already had one. So you could move past it to be behind it.
Yeah, I thought the main one would have had the attack of opportunity because I was behind it and the other one was 10 feet away.
Yeah, it could.
So my thought was to just step away, not towards the.
Okay,
Yeah, I wasn't trying to step towards the little one.
So I did that wrong. So I rolled the wrong. I rolled a 12 and a 6 because I was rolling at disadvantage, thinking it was the little one attacking you. So he would have so the big one would have been attacking you, and it would have had a dirty 20.
Well, that would have been a hit.
Okay. So that's 11 slashing, and it's halved because of enfeeblement, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you take 5 slashing as it turns and swipes at you with a claw.
Okay, and then I'm going to move. So I've got 30 feet of movement.
Yeah,
I want to move
you got 25
far
left.
enough back that I want to move far enough back that I can see the little one and have still. I want to be able to see it, so I don't want the big one to get in the way.
Okay, well, you're between them.
Like
you have the big one in front of you, and the little one is about 10 feet behind you. So if you go forward, you're going to go past the big one toward Gears. If you go toward the little one, you can pass it. But if you go outside of its space, it too will get an attack of opportunity. Because again, you're in this.
I want to go. Yeah, I want to be behind Gears now.
Okay.
But I want to position myself to still have line of sight on the little one.
Okay. Well, you're going to have Gears and the big one between you and the little one, so you can see that it's back there, but you've got this 9-foot tall hulking beast and a warforged between you and the little one, so it's going to depend on what you want to do, whether or not you're going to be able to do it. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yep. So Gears for Geely just popped around beside you. I assume your wings are still winging?
Oh, yeah.
Still out? Yeah. Okay. Gears is still frightened of you. How long does that effect last?
Say point of order on that one.
How long does that effect last?
I think it ended on my turn.
Okay, then he's not. Very good. Calavera, you are up. Anyone looking toward the large creature has just seen Fragile appear around it, and she has this beautiful black set of raven's wings out of her back.
Oh, I'll process that later. So 2 of them are still up. Rue just tried to stab me and got shoved into the wall very rudely by Ronvin. Thank you. There's a lot to focus on. And we are in a cramped area, so I think Calavera. I think she's going to just cast another Toll the Dead on the big one that's hurt.
Okay.
She can't really reach over there to do anything else. So, do I have to make another saving throw to be able to hit it with the spell?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'll make another charisma saving throw.
This
That's
is a
not gonna do it, Chief. That's a 6.
DC 15 charisma save. Okay.
Got
So before your action occurs, I'm going to roll the lucky D8. Okay. You start to move in a random direction. So I'm going to say odds you move forward, which is towards the creature. Evens you move backward. I'm going to roll a D6, and you're moving backward up the tunnel away from the party. You're just kind of turning and, kind of wandering and looking around, totally confused.
Just eyes blank.
Yeah.
There's nothing going on here.
Right. And lights are on.
Eye blank.
Nobody's home. Yeah. As you kind of wander, and you're not racing, you're not afraid, you're just lost, confused. So Ronvin and Rue, you probably see
what?
this.
Yeah. That's as per usual.
There you go. Nothing new, eh? Okay.
Nothing new.
Rue, you're up. Your faculties sort of return to you as you shake the fuzz out. You had, you took a swing at the one that's wandering away who turns out to be Calavera. And Ronvin just pushed you. And what would you like to do? Your bow is at your feet. Your short sword is in hand.
How's the creature looking?
What's that?
How is the large creature looking?
It's hacked up pretty good. It's past bloody if you want to think in terms of 4E.
Yeah,
going?
Rue looks down at his short sword, horrified, looks up at Calavera, who's backing away, and over at Ronvin. And he's just going to drop his short sword and kind of stumble to the side.
Okay. You're not confused, like you're mentally unfogging. So.
Yeah. But Rue is horrified by what just happened.
Okay. That's fair. Top of the order, Ronvin, what would you like to do?
To Ronvin, who looks more hurt, Gears or Fragile?
I'm a 23 out of 34, so.
Fragili's more hurt than Gears. Gears has just got a couple of nicks. That's it.
Okay. So I want to move up to behind Fragile, and I want to cast Cure Wounds on her.
Wait.
Okay, that is, hold up. That is 1d8 plus 3. Oh, nice. That's 11.
Sweet.
Nice.
That fully healed me.
Excellent. Anything
So
else for Ronvin?
Fragili's going to react to that, though, because Fragility has never been healed by anybody that I can remember.
So I touched you.
And she's going to, spin around with her wings, hopefully not hitting you in the process. And she's just going to turn her attention back around. She's going to have that, look of thanks on her face, but she's going to totally turn back around and refocus on what she needs to.
Reaction. It's like, oh, she got wings too.
Nice.
And
Okay.
That's all she's gonna do.
This thing is going to attempt to get at Gears, since Gears is right in front of it. And it's, it's leaking and bleeding from where the mandibles join, and it's got, cracks and rents in its chitinous shell. 24 with a claw.
Yeah, that is.
That's a 12 slashing, so 6 slashing because of enfeeblement.
And 3 because of my armor.
Correct. Next claw is a nat 20, so that's 13. Half of that
Killed
is
this way last time.
13. Half of that is 6. So 3 off of that. So thank goodness for your armor, right?
Yeah.
And then I get to roll damage die on top of that. That is 11 more. So 5.
So 2.
So 2, correct. And then the mandible is an 18.
Damn, that's my AC.
Nice. 13 and 5 is 18, so 9.
6.
Yeah, so this thing, you just see this thing just wailing on Gears. And you all are kind of horrified as you watch this thing. And you're like, man, seems like he should be down. Or at least really bad off. Yet somehow he just stands there and takes it as he, tries to block and all of that and so forth. Let's see here. The other one is going to rush to the side of the larger one and bare its mandibles. And then it sees Fragile and stops. And it looks up at the other one. And we're going to go to Al.
Yeah, we're gonna go through that same thing again. We're gonna magically pick up a rock, use a pre-assigned saving throw. This one even worse, a 1.
Nice.
Double damage.
And gonna hit the big one.
Yep.
Hopefully this will be the end of that. 19 points of bludgeoning.
Wow.
Yes.
Ew, that's vicious.
Man. Yeah, so this rock breaks off a huge chunk of the armor that's over its shoulders, and it flies off. And it just makes this horrible, loud clicking and screeching, almost like a cicada. But loud and awefuler, more awful. And it's oozing green, thick, almost like grasshopper blood, dripping on the cavern floor. Anything else, Al?
No, I take it it's still not dead?
Oh, no.
Oh, all right.
No. Gears.
Oh, no. Oh. Heard stupid questions. No.
Oh, no.
All right. Back at it. Hey. That's nice. 26.
That'll hit.
And that's 11 damage.
Okay.
Yes.
It's wobbling.
Second attack is a natural 20.
Okay. I'm going to spare you the mathematics. Describe how Gears delivers the killing blow to this thing.
It enters the part of the armor between the head and the torso, goes straight up and through. Gear's hands follows through, and they just rip the head right off.
Ooh.
Souvenir.
Nice. Yeah, and it just falls in a pile.
Splash.
It falls in a pile.
And
And the smaller one beside it screeches in a much younger sounding version of what you just heard from the bigger one and uses its held action to attack you. Okay. I'm guessing the 4 plus 6 doesn't hit, but I'm guessing the 20 plus 6 does. So that's
yeah, sadly it does.
13 plus 6 is what? 19. So half of 19 is what? 8? 9.
Why, the little one wasn't affected by the enfeeblement, though.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's correct. So 19.
19 minus 3 is 16.
Yep. Okay, we are to Fragile. So you just saw Gears take the big one down, and then the little one went right after Gears.
All right. Um,
Point of note, Gears is looking really wobbly.
Fragili's gonna charge back in. She sees what's going on with her friend. She knows that her spell um, has been used up now that the one is dead, and she's going to charge back in with Green Flame Blade.
Nice.
So I need my attack.
And this is
roll.
going to look particularly cool given the darkness of this tunnel. Is this blade of this... Do you wield a scimitar or a longsword?
Rapier.
Rapier. Yeah. So really cool looking.
All right, so it doesn't do anything except for the fact that my blade is glowing, and it's kind of an added effect. I have a 12 plus 7. I have a 19 to hit.
That hits.
All right, and all it's going to do is regular damage because until 5th level, that's really all it does.
Fair enough.
It's 6 plus 5. It's 11 points of magical piercing damage.
Okay. You just did 11 points of magical piercing damage. Very nice. It opens up a gash and it squeals. Go ahead. Let's see who's after Fragile. Calavera.
Muted.
Well, that was confusing. Wears off, right?
Yep.
So she just kind of like stutters to a stop and is standing there for a moment, blinking. And she slowly turns to look at the rest of you, and there's like still kind of a moment where she's like trying to like figure out what's happening. Like it's lingering a bit longer, and then she sees there is someone who's very hurt.
Yeah.
I can work with that.
Yep. And you have
So
ample
she'll just,
movement to
like-
get there.
Yeah, she'll like kind of just as slowly make her way back to where Gears is, because you're not doing so hot, are you, bud?
Got 11 hit points left.
And she'll just like gently end up resting like her hand like on their arm or so, or whatever it is that she can reach, and we'll do I'll just make it a 1st level cure wound.
I'll take it.
Just a little something. So that is a D8. So that is going to be a total of 8 healing.
Nice. Thank you.
And then she spends the rest of her time just like kind of blinking and like looking around and refocusing on what's happening here.
Okay, very good. Bottom of the order, Rue, you're up. You just saw the big one go down. You just saw the little one take a huge swipe at Gears. Calavera came to his aid.
Yeah, so I think seeing the beating that Gears took and the little one charging up and seeing that Calavera's, still on her feet and okay, Rue is going to collect himself and in one swift movement, he's going to stoop and pick up the short sword on the ground while drawing the other one and charge in. And he will try to get into a flanking position on this thing if he can.
Yeah, I'd say you could do that. You've got Fragile right there. You've got Gears right there. I mean, they're close enough.
Guy on the floor.
You have 2 allies within 5 feet, so you don't really need advantage if you're going for sneak attack damage. But you can flank if you'd like.
Well, I mean, yeah, advantage is always nice, unless you roll a 4 and a 5. So that's a total of 12 to hit.
Yeah, I'm
I
sorry.
assume that does not. I will roll
+2? Would that help?
No.
Actually, it would. Yeah. It's a youth.
Then yeah,
Exactly.
I will take that.
Okay. Yep. I gave it an AC of 14.
Never,
Oh, nice.
It's a ute.
I will roll some.
Slightly softer chitin.
Well, and the plates aren't all grown together yet. There's gaps.
So that is 15 points of damage.
All right. Describe for me how you end this thing.
I think Rue is. He's actually yelling, which is not like Rue. He's enraged as he charges at this thing, and just with his swords up, one of them just drives straight into the eye of the creature and all the way down to the hilt of his sword.
Wow. Yeah, and it just kind of slides slowly off your blade, falls. It sounds like a pile of football helmets hitting concrete when it lands, and a big leather bag full of fresh, raw livers as it slaps to the floor. And
He yanks his sword back out. Angrily.
aside from all that, it's silent. And before you all have a chance to sort out what the hell just happened, we're going to call our episode to an end. So you can just stay.
That's it. I thought it was probably something else showed up.
No,
Yeah.
you can stay
3
angsty
more
until
rounds.
next time.
That's the Shadow Drake that he had planned behind them all.
Nope.
And I also, I totally forgot that I was supposed to make Mark your cure wounds to be like an artificing thing. Dang it. Oh well, I'll figure it out for next time.
Yep.
Angst? Angst? Who's angsting here?
Yeah.
Couldn't be me.
Nice. That was fun. Well played. That got a little dicey.
Literally.
When we started off with a first attack and the character goes down, I thought, oh,
Yeah,
Wow.
wow. Remembered shield.
yeah. Nice save there. Okay, let's go around the table. I'd like to thank our audience, obviously, for hanging out with us and enjoying our game. I know I sure did. I hope you all did. So we'll go kind of ladies first. Calavera.
Hi again. I'm Paige. You can find me on Twitter at KeyLimeCutieBie. I don't really do that much. I just kind of hang out and retweet stuff, I guess. Aside from doing this lovely game, I have a couple of home games that I play in, including we're finally getting through to the one Pathfinder game that I've been super excited about. And so that's going to be pretty cool. I finally get to play a witch and an investigator in Pathfinder 1, which I haven't done yet. But also means I need to pick out spells, which takes a while. And yeah, I don't really got that much.
All right. Very good. Fragile, another of our ladies.
Yeah, Mike, and I go by Buckethead Clunk on my social media, and I've been DMing the same home group for about a decade now. I don't know, I think that long. You lose track of time. Anyways, we're presently in Cormyr. The group started out in Strahd, and we're in Cormyr now with a little bit of a Spelljammer flavor. And I get to hang out with these guys every Monday night and have a good time and not worry about anything but being Fragile, which is absolutely blast for me.
Nice. Very good. And the last of our 3 female characters, Ronvin.
Hi, I'm Vivi or Vivesa. You can find me on Twitch as Vivacia, even though I've not been doing much lately. On the Twitter, you can find me as Miss Vivacia, where I'll retweet all kinds of stuff, and sometimes you get a picture or two or some stuff about my Munchkin, shenanigans. Um, I play with these guys every Monday, which has been a lot of fun. They put up with my crap. Every second Tuesday, I'm still playing Call of Cthulhu in the Wild West on Uncanny Adventures, which will be this week, but next week. We just had the finale of our Emberwind season 1 on Saturday. So in May, we're coming back to Varian for season 2 of our Emberwind thing. On February the 25th, I'm going to be DMing a game of Brindlewood Bay on Stella Luna's channel, where we're going to be, or they're going to be, mavens and part of a book club where they solve mysteries with an underline. It's like Murder, She Wrote with an underline of Call of Cthulhu, and we're all going to be dressing up like crazy people. Also, I'm finally DMing my very first own campaign, which is offline, and we just finished our first milestone after 5 sessions, and they basically crashed their airship on a tropical island in the middle of freaking nowhere, but at least they saved the world while doing it. DM Dave, by the way.
Cool. All right, let's keep going around. Rue.
Hey everyone, I'm Andrew, aka Fellowship of the Tables. When I'm not playing this lovely, very angsty character, I'm angsting in real life, getting ready for a mega charity event coming up on Saturday, which I'm sure Wiley will tell you all about.
Absolutely.
And getting ready to wear my top hat and wedding tux. I'm excited about.
Nice. More will be revealed, and it happens to be in chat. Let's keep going. Al.
Hi, I'm Manny, at Growed Up Geek on all the social medias. When I'm not here with these amazing people, I DM a Rhyme of the Frostbane campaign on Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock Eastern at Growed Up Geek on Twitch. And this Saturday, I will be playing in the 4 o'clock Jasper's game day with Andrew as my DM, and the opportunity to actually play with Scott for the first time. So I'm really excited about that. So check it out. It's for a great cause. Check us out on Saturday afternoon.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
You have
And
a game coming up on Sunday, don't you? Sundays soon?
pretty soon.
Eventually, yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
End of February.
Pretty soon.
Yep.
We're getting there.
Yep.
Okay.
Gears.
Hey, I'm Dave. Hey Wilson on most social medias. Fairly active on Twitter. Reasonably active on Twitter. I've been quiet lately. When I am not here on Mondays, I am also here on Wednesdays at 7 o'clock, where we're playing Dragons of Icefire Peak, which we will be rebooting, I believe, shortly, but I'll leave that in the hands of Scott, our wily DM.
All right, yeah, so just quickly, so we can get everybody off to beddy bye and all that, we do have a couple of quick announcements. Saturday, February 6th, we are running a mega Uber D&D Day Celebrity D&D-a-thon. Rue, Andrew's going to DM 3 different sessions. We got celebrities. Fenway Jones, the founder of Jasper's Game Day, will play at noon. Camille from Open for Adventure is going to play at 4. And then Lydia, the finest and most original elven cleric of all time, will be playing in the 8 o'clock group, which I think Mike Fragili, Mike's going to play in that group. So come check that out on Saturday. And yes, we are restarting Dragon of Icespire Peak with some new players. That'll start Wednesday, February 10th at 7 p.m. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Let's call that a wrap, shall we? Anybody else have anything for the cause? Thanks for the bits, Sorrow's Tale. Appreciate the support and the retweets and all that, buddy. And yeah, that's a great stream. I need to put a shout out in here for you. Sunday nights at 8:30 Eastern, Sorrow's Tale DMs a really fun Greyhawk campaign on Sunday evenings. So check that out. It's good times. And then Dave, hey Wilson, thanks for the sub. And thank you to Merfeather for the raid earlier. And we will see you all really, really soon next time we play. So thanks for hanging out, and we'll talk to you all soon.
Bye.